Okay, so we are having another topic which is equilibrium. Okay, what does it mean? It means that, for example, I'm having the body here and I'm acting the 10 Newton force into this side, 10 Newton, and 10 Newton force from the this side. So we can write 10 Newton. So we can write here that the net force is equal to 0. This body will be not moving here and this body will be not moving here. So the if net force is equal to 0, so the acceleration will be equal to 0. That is called the equilibrium. So the if we talk about the statement of the equilibrium, so we are having that if a body is in stable or in rest, so a body is in equilibrium when the body is in rest or in the uniform velocity. For example, I'm having this one tube and here we are having water and this is a stone that I'm putting. So this will move through the uniform velocity and it will be like here and it will become rest or stable. So this is moving with the uniform velocity. So we can write it, a body is in equilibrium, this will become rest, which means it will be having the equilibrium state. So we can write here the body is in equilibrium when the body is in rest like this, or in the like this, or in the uniform velocity. Okay, so we are having two types of equilibrium. First is the static and second is the dynamic. If we talk about the static, so which means that the body is in rest. Okay, the body in rest. And this one, which means if a body is moving with the uniform velocity, that is called dynamic equilibrium. So with I have given you the example. Through this you can easily you can say that make a definition as well as type 2. So this one will be the dynamic equilibrium when if a body move with uniform velocity. Okay, so that is the this one. And if this was about the two types of the equilibrium, first was static and second one is the dynamic and second is the static. Okay, after that if we move toward the condition, so we are having two condition of the equilibrium. So if we talk about the first condition, so if the first condition states that if a body is in linear momentum, if a body is in linear motion, linear motion, and come in equilibrium or in rest. Equilibrium means a body is in stable and it is in rest, come in equilibrium. Okay, for example, and their next net force will be 0. So this is what, this is the sum of all forces will become 0. Like I'm having the body and I'm acting the 20 Newton force from this side and 20 Newton force from this side. So we can write it, this is what, these are the two forces. So we can write it, the sum of the forces is equal to 0. Okay, so we can write a sum of all the forces is equal to 0. So a body is coming in the equilibrium. So this is the first state. So a body that is basically in the linear motion and coming into the equilibrium. So the body in the first condition is called the translation translational body. This was about the first state. If we talk about the second state we are having, so the second state, so this was what, this was about the force and this is about the torque. How, let's see. So if we talk about the second state, not state, this is a condition. So if we talk about the second condition, so which means this is a statement we are having of the second condition we are having, that if a body is in angular motion like this, angular motion, and then it come in equilibrium. What does it mean? It means that, for example, this is a car wheel. Okay, first I am, like you can say that I'm moving the car wheel in the clockwise like this, like clockwise, and then in the anti-clockwise, so it will become 0. So we can write here that the torque the net torque is equal to 0, because from this one side it was the one like rotation in the clockwise, which will be minus torque, and one rotation in the anti-clockwise, which will be the positive torque. So the torque cancel with the torque, so we can write here the net torque is equal to the 0. Okay, so if a body is in principle of the momentum, so we are calling that as a net force, not that net torque is equal to the 0. This was about the net force and this was about the net torque. Okay, so the clockwise and anti-clockwise torque is called the principle of torque, as you guys all know. So this is you can like through the definition you can easily understand. If a body is in angular motion and it become in the stable form or in the equilibrium, that is called the second condition of the torque. So this was the two condition of the torque as well as two types with the equilibrium. In the next video we will discuss about the states. We are having three states of the equilibrium, so that we will be discussing in the next video.